Hello everyone and welcome to another wavelength series. My name is Waveney and I am your leadership mindset coach. I help managers master their mindset, their communication and their influence. Now, are you ready to get on the same wavelength? Fabulous. Now, wouldn't it be great if you actually had some tools, if you actually had something that would help you to navigate this Christmas season? Perhaps you know of this aunt that's coming, not your favorite, or maybe it's an older or younger sibling that you've had a contentious relationship with, or maybe you're going home, you're going to see some extended family members, or even if it's your mom or your dad, and it's not, the relationship hasn't been the best and you're dreading it, but you know you have to be there. Wouldn't it be great if you actually had something that you could fall back on to help you navigate this period? Well, Waves got you. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 tips that will help you to navigate this holiday season. Now, I don't know about you or where you're viewing from, but in the Caribbean, Christmas is what Thanksgiving is to the US. You know, there's lots of family, lots of friends, and in particular, on the island that I reside, in the Federation, 𝐘𝐿'', Christmas is also Carnival, and so it's a lot of people, a lot of energy, and so you may need to manage that. No, these are not just tips to help you survive the holiday season. What I want you to understand is that with family dynamics, these play out in your role as a leader. These are the same dynamics that play out within your team. And what I'd encourage you to do is to just sort of be the silent observer, to step back and sort of instead of getting caught up in all the drama, I want you to really step back and really observe what's going on. So let's get into our first tips, our first tool for managing. The first one is reality is relational, it is not universal. Reality is relational, it's not universal. And what this simply means is that everyone's version of reality is different, and this is based on their experience, your experiences, the situations, and stuff like that. For example, within a family dynamic, you may talk to different family members, and their perception of a particular event is totally different, right? It's totally different. And so at Christmas, you may find yourself at your family gathering, you may find yourself trying to defend a situation. You're trying to defend, you're trying to convince, you're trying to say, no, but this is what happened. No, this is my experience. And you're trying to really convince the person, thinking that if we explain the situation or whatever the topic is, if we explain it better, then we would convince them. But the reality is you can't convince them, because even though they were there, even though they witnessed the very same thing, how you interpreted those events inside, right, your mind, your internal representation system, that's what we call it, your internal representation system is totally different from your brothers or your sisters or whomever, even your mother. So reality is relational. You're trying to convince them of something that they're never going to see, because they're not interpreting the situation the same as you. They're not inside, they're not standing where you are, right? And so instead of defending your reality, here are some questions that you can ask. And number one would just one of these questions would do the trick. The first one is, what specifically about that situation creates that feeling for you? So instead of coming from a place of defending or trying to explain, get curious. And you can ask, what specifically about that situation creates that feeling for you? That's a great question, right? And it takes that person also off the defensive. They don't feel like they have to over explain, right? Another question you can ask, when you think about mom, and this is just assuming the situation is about your mother, when you think about mom or insert whomever, what's the earliest memory that shaped how you saw her? That's a much more deeper question. Another one you can ask is, what would need to be different for you to experience that differently? And so these are just 3 questions that you can ask. Honestly, you can ask number 1 and it would create a whole different conversation. But please remember that reality is relational and not universal. So I really hope this helps you in taking a step back with trying to defend your position. The second tool I'd like to share with you is, I'd like to invite you. Sometimes situation comes up, maybe somebody makes a comment, there's always this one aunt or uncle or whomever wants to be commenting on the fact that you're not married, or if you're in the same job, or they want to say something, right? But pause before your pattern activates. Because we all have the same triggers. This person says something and we respond in the same pattern all the time. So before you get dragged in and drawn in, I want you to really pause. When you see the look, maybe that particular look your mom gives you, or the tone, or whatever, or the comment, pause. So here's a reset that you can do. Pause for 3 seconds, right? And this is going to interrupt however you usually respond. So just pause, right? For 3 seconds. Then breathe, deeply breathe. And you can just do that. Sometimes you see people doing that. They're just like, and that's okay. You pause, you breathe. And I want you to observe the emotion that you're feeling. What is it that you're feeling? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Is it anger? What is it? So observe the emotion. You have the ability to do this, right? And I want to pause here and share with you all these, this whole family dynamic, this whole Christmas, this whole thing that you're dreading. All of this is helping you to develop your emotional intelligence. Yeah, this is what we mean by emotional intelligence. It's first managing you. Anyway, I digress. Then I want you to name the emotion specifically. What are you feeling? Right? So you wanna observe it without the emotion, without becoming or getting carried away in it. And then I want you to name it specifically. What is it that you're feeling? Is it shame? Is it guilt? What is it? Is it anger? Right? When you name things, you kind of start to take away. You start to loosen it. You start to take away its power. And then this is a powerful question. Ask yourself, what am I making this comment mean about me? Because many times when we get into these family gatherings, people are responding. Your mother is still treating you like that 10-year-old, right? People are interacting with you with the old version of you. You are not who you were 3 months ago, 2 months ago, even a year ago. Or you're not that 10-year-old, you're not that 15-year-old. But for some reason, many times our families and friends, especially our family, they are relating and interacting and communicating to us based on who we were, and they have no idea all the work that you've been doing this year. They have no idea that you're looking at the people's brand, you're implementing the tools that I'm sharing. They have no idea. So what are you making their comment mean about you? What are you making it mean about you? And how are you deciding that this is a problem for you? Those are powerful questions that you can ask yourself. And then you can ask yourself, is this even true about me anymore? Is this true about me? Majority of the times the answer is no. You've grown, right? So this is really powerful, and I'm excited to know how it turns out for you. So be sure to message me after Christmas and let me know how it turns out. The third one is mind your triggers for your gifts. Now, the situations that challenge us, they help us, right? They reveal something about us, and it's not just weakness. Those situations are the reason why we are where we are spiritually, emotionally, mentally in life. They may be even the reason why we have accomplished so much. And one of the things that we do in coaching, we don't try to bypass what has happened. We don't try to cover up and polish up all the things that, the trauma that has happened. But what we do instead is we look for how it has helped to shape us. What is the resource? So here's some questions that you can ask. What did this pattern or person teach me to develop in myself? What strength exists because what strength exists in me now that I have forged from navigating this, right? So what strength do you have from navigating that particular challenge? So for example, your father's criticism, maybe it helped you to become deeply empathetic, and maybe that is something that people absolutely love about you because you're deeply empathetic. But that's a resource that you gain from having that unpleasant experience, right? Or maybe you learn to see people's potential even when they didn't see it in themselves because of that. Your mother's emotional distance. You learn to trust your own guidance system, right? Without needing external validation. And this is why sometimes people say to you, oh, you're so independent. Well, it's because you developed that from that particular situation. So can you see how each challenging experience that you developed a resource? So mind your triggers for your gifts, right? Your triggers are maps to your gifts, and this holiday is showing you the inventory that you have, right? And again, it's not bypassing, it's not pretending that that situation didn't happen, it's not covering up the hurt, but it's helping you to excavate and see the gold, to mine the gold that was that has been forged from that experience. Okay, let's move on to number 4. Choose your energy expenditure consciously. Choose your energy expenditure consciously. I know it's a mouthful. You don't have to respond to every comment, right? That aunt who tries to ask you, when are you going to get a child? When are you going to get pregnant? When are you going to get married? You can choose to say, that's not a conversation I am going to have with you right now. You can choose to say that, or you can choose to look at her and smile. But you don't have to attend every debate or argument you've been invited to. That is having boundaries. So choose your energy wisely. Use your energy to unwrap your gifts. Use your energy to place it somewhere else. But you don't have to respond. Sometimes we forget that we have choices because family dynamics brings out the child in us. But you have to remember, you are not that 15-year-old. You're not that 10-year-old. You're not even the same person 3 months ago. Okay? You're not that person. You've grown. Embrace that. And then number 5, I sort of alluded to it in the beginning. Look at this situation. Look at this family gathering through the lens of a scientist. Instead of getting caught up, instead of being in the drama and the chaos, observe it. Observe how, when your mom makes a comment, how your brother reacts, how your aunt reacts, how your sibling reacts, and even how you and what may happen is somebody says something and you may feel that emotion coming up. You may feel like you want to say the words that you typically say. Observe that. You don't have to get drawn in. And you are being, see it like you are interviewing your family patterns and not being interviewed by them or being caught up. So see it like you are the interviewer and you're observing all of this, right? And this is a really great tool. And then finally, I want to share with you that you're not who your family remembers. And that is your power. You are not the same person. Your family's perception of you is often frozen in time. That is true for family dynamics. It's often frozen in time. And that is why you would hear me say, I've said it several times actually, that you're not the same person. That is your power. And so I want for you, shoot, I almost kicked over the camera. But I want for you to really respond from who you are now, and you don't have to respond from that stance of that 15-year-old or from that place of that person you were 2 years ago. You are different now. You've done the work. You're doing the work. Yes, you're not perfect, but now you are aware. And this is the biggest thing with emotional intelligence. The first key is awareness. And I can tell you that these family dynamics, you would be surprised what emotions they bring up and how you see the same trigger, or how that person on your team seems to trigger the same thing, right? Because life is a pattern and things work in patterns. And usually when we have traumas or we have triggers, it could be a tone of voice. It could be a particular phrase, and it could be our mother is saying it, our brother is saying it, our team member, our boss is saying it. It's the same thing. Our body keeps score. Our body remembers everything. And so every time we hear that tone of voice, or every time we see that person look at us that way, or every time we have a particular situation, we respond in the same way. And so this is what our family dynamic teaches us. But here's the beautiful thing. Stand in your power. You've grown. You're now aware. You now have 5 tools. You now have 5 tips that can help you navigate this holiday season. And stand in that, own that, and you can even journal it out when you go home. But what I wanted to bring to you today is holidays can be very chaotic. It could be very dramatic. It could be very challenging for many of us. Many times, some of us may have swept that old feeling under the rug, and now next week is Christmas and we are dreading, and we have that maybe a little anxiety around, that family gathering or wherever we are going to go, right? Whatever that event is, you don't have to feel anxious. Remember, you're in control and you're not the same person. And so I wanted to share that with you and to wish you a happy holidays. And let me know, reach out to me. Let me know send me a DM, send me a WhatsApp after that family gathering. Let me know how these tips have helped you. Let me know which one of the tools that you use. And my calendar is open for January. Do schedule if you want to take this work even deeper, release some stuff, because sometimes we're holding on to things. We need to release them and install a more empowering belief or a more empowering feeling. Please feel free. I'll link my calendar link below. Happy holidays, and I wish you nothing but the best for this season. Bye.